Hey there, welcome back. I know that in your new coach training, we've been zooming in on a lot of the fine details. Well, tonight I want to zoom out and look at the big picture, which is my vision for this team. Now, as you listen to this, be thinking about, what parts of this are really resonating with you and what parts might you do differently. Your team will grow and you will have a team of your own. You'll always be part of this team and we'll always work together, but you have the opportunity to decide what you want the values of your team to be and eventually make a video just like this. So think about what you want to define your team as you listen. So first and foremost, I, as a coach, set out to help people have a more positive body image, help people end their war with food, their war with the mirror, yo-yo dieting, find a sense of peace. I don't want people to be afraid of food. I spent many years there. I'm recovering from an eating disorder myself. As I share openly on my page, I used to starve and then binge, and I just never knew what the day was going to hold. Life was really pretty scary every morning when I would wake up. And for the most part, 99.9% of all days, I feel pretty peaceful about my relationship with food. I really believe that food has a spiritual aspect. I mean, this is the substance that sustains life for us. So if we go through our life thinking we have to eat things that taste terrible to us or that we just have to resist food and can't enjoy it, that's no way to live. This is a major source of pleasure in life, and I want to help more women experience that and just guide them along a path that I have followed and have been walking on for years, since I was a teenager, and just, it's not that I am all-knowing, not at all, but I can tell them what I have learned, and it might help some people, who are struggling with the same things that I have struggled with, and I found a way to get through. So, sorry if I look down, I just want to hit all the really important points. By the way, when I talk about eating disorders, I just always want to mention, I never claim that I provide eating disorder therapy. I'm not trained in that, and I have nothing against therapy. I'm not saying, hey, work with me instead. I really actually believe in, if someone needs more help than I can give, I will encourage them to see a therapist. I went to Overeaters Anonymous myself, and it was very important for me. I took medication. So explore all of those things. And actually, it takes courage to do that. So some people might not be ready for that yet, and some people might not be quite at a level where they need that, or, some people might be on the tail end of that and they're coming off of it, but they need the support, or their symptoms are under management with the help of those things. But coaching can still help them with the behavior changes that they need on a daily basis. So pretty cool what we can do as coaches. Number 2, helping people cope with anxiety and depression. These are things also that I struggled with a lot when I was younger and still do sometimes. I can say that more often than not these days. I wake up feeling excited, peaceful, calm, content, happy, energetic. And that definitely was, a very small proportion of days for most of my life. So things are way better. And, again, I don't claim to be all-knowing, but in my coaching programs, little by little, we explore all of the different things that I have done and that I'm doing through nutrition, through exercise, through my yoga practice, through mindfulness, through personal development, the books that I read. All of those things come into play in my coaching programs. And then, of course, again, also encouraging people to be brave enough to ask for more help if that's what they need. Similarly, for people who are dealing with injury and serious illness, obviously, if you know my story, I know something about that. And that honestly was something that I really struggled with before my surgery. You know, people who, it's not that I didn't want to help people who had really severe physical limitations. I did want to help them, and I tried, and it's not like I was totally like heartless and cruel, but I just didn't get it, you know? I mean, until you have lived it and gone through it, you know, I didn't recognize my own body. I couldn't do, I mean, I had the, I say it all the time, but I had to relearn how to stand and how to walk. You know, and of course my recovery was quicker than someone who is 30 years older. And, you know, there were a lot of things I had on my side, but I do know what that's like now. And not to say that, again, it's not that you can't help people if you haven't gone through exactly what they have, but it makes it a lot easier to connect. And so that's why, you know, that group of people now tend to be drawn to me more. It's not even, that's like not something you can target for on Facebook to find those people, but it's in the language of how I describe my programs. It's in like the blog posts that I write, just little snippets here and there when I talk about myself. So that is becoming a little bit of a niche for me. And, you know, it's not so much even like on a physical basis, like here are exercises you can do, although I do help people with that. But it's a lot of it's just the emotional side. Just taking it day by day and doing what you can and having the right words to help people, because I've been there and I know what people said to me that felt really good and what people said to me that didn't feel so good. So those are my main niche markets. There's a few other criteria, demographics, you know, that I mentioned in my Facebook ads video, but I won't go there right now because we're talking big picture. As far as my vision for what I want this team to be, I want this to be an environment that is safe and supportive and compassionate and uplifting. So, you know, there's a lot of like media out there in the fitness kind of sphere, like pictures of six-pack abs and, you know, Fitspiration little memes about punishing your body, and even some that are just about pushing yourself, verge on like, I never want to encourage not listening to your body. Listening to your body is so important. We all tune it out because we're so busy. We have to keep working even when we're tired. I really think that's one of the biggest problems in our society, and the reason people are obese and get sick, you know, get heart disease, get cancer, is we lose the ability to pay attention to our bodies and to interpret health signals because we drown them out. So anything that could even be interpreted as don't listen to your body is not going to fly with me. So in all of my groups, you know, and of course, like if somebody posts something, like I'm not going to, if someone was like, you know, I really wanted to quit, but I did 5 more push-ups. Like, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the imagery and the way that I encourage people. And if I see someone post something that is really, you know, that's maybe a little disturbing. I mean, I find it disturbing whenever anyone is not being kind to themselves. I know it's a strong word, disturbing, but it disturbs me because I think it's really sad. So, you know, it's important when you see something like that to find a gentle way, and we can talk about how in a different place. But I do address that, and it's not like I jump down their throat like, don't post that here. But, you know, we're all in a learning process, and I'm sure I say something, even though my intentions are good, sometimes I say some things that are not like 100% all of the values I just described, but that is what I aim for. I also think introspection is a big one for me. And, you know, this isn't everyone's cup of tea, but I went to Harvard. I like to read, and I get kind of sick of, you know, on the coach training calls, they say the same things over and over. They're like, let me tell you, here's my secret. And then they say like the same 10 bullet points we heard last week. You know, not every week, like it's not all this bad, but I have noticed that theme and it bothers me. Like I need something a little more meaty, substantial. I need people to take it deeper. So for people who really want their mind engaged as part of this, I think that's part of who's drawn to me. You know, like in my groups, we go into a little bit like the different kinds of fat and why those are good for you. Like some people just don't care. They just want to be told what to eat. So my approach is like just a little bit more cerebral, but hopefully, you know, you learn something, and I attract people who want to learn something and like to learn something. And I would hope that that's true of the coaches on my team as well. And, you know, lastly, I just want to say a little bit about the team environment. I really do consider it a sisterhood, and, you know, maybe we'll get some guys, maybe you watching this video, or even male. I don't know. I don't have any male coaches on my team yet, except my husband, my dad. He loves Shakeology, but but they're not in the team groups. So right now it's all an all-female environment. But it is a sisterhood. And, you know, when I was in college, I was pretty miserable until I joined a sorority, and I never thought I was the type of person to join a sorority. But it was just, I tell this story all the time, but like people at Harvard aren't always that social. So it was almost like, hey, I want to be friends, but everyone else just wants to study. So here I found this group of women who actually were interested in like going to a movie or going shopping on the weekend. And they just were fun and they were nice. And once I had that element to my life, I was so much happier. And I feel like Beachbody is like my adult sorority. I still do have my group of friends and they're awesome, but we get to know each other really well in Beachbody. And, you know, you have to go kind of deep to really have a successful business. You have to get to know yourself really well. So in the process of facilitating that, we all get to know each other really well. And there are some incredible people who are part of this, and just the most inspiring stories that you will ever hear. And so, you know, after a while, it's not that you ditch all your other friends, but you end up spending a lot of time with these people because they're just so cool. And we'll go on retreats and we'll have expense-paid trips together, and we just have fun. And I feel like, you know, anytime someone has to tell you something is fun, it's probably not fun. So I'm not going to hammer that point home too much. But, you know, I think that we need more fun in life and more laughter. And I always want that to be part of our team. And so, you know, that's how I want to close. We work hard, but in the end, we're doing this because we want to have fun on a daily basis. So if you ever feel like this isn't fun, let's talk, because we need to find a way for it to become fun again for you. All right, thanks for listening, and look forward to hearing about your own vision today or later on.